Okay, let's dive right in. Look, everybody is talking about AI. You see it everywhere, generating images, writing text. But while all eyes are on that, a much bigger, much quieter revolution is happening in the background. It's a shift that isn't just about creating stuff, it's about creating a whole new kind of workforce. And today, we're going to pull back the curtain and see exactly what that looks like.
So, what is this hidden trend? Where are the smartest people in tech, the CEOs of companies like NVIDIA, Google, you name it? Where are they quietly placing their billion-dollar bets? Well, the answer might just surprise you.
It's this, AI voice agents. This is the technology that's getting ready to completely change how businesses run. Everything from customer service to sales. And you want to know the craziest part? Most people are still massively underestimating its impact. So today, let's break down what this really means.
So here's our game plan. We've already touched on that unheard revolution. Next, we're going to properly meet this digital employee and really get the tech. Then we'll look at what the market data is screaming at us, explore the huge societal shifts that are making this whole thing happen, crunch the numbers on the business case, and finally figure out your next move to get way ahead of the curve.
All right, first up, meet the digital employee. Before we can even talk about the opportunity here, we need to be crystal clear on what this technology actually is. So, let's meet our new digital colleague.
Now, it's super important to get this. An AI agent is not just a chatbot. A chatbot can talk to you, right? An AI agent can act for you. The real game changer is its ability to access and actually use your software tools, your CRM, your calendar, your email, to get tasks done in the real world.
And at its core, the whole concept is actually pretty simple. You start with a brain, think something like GPT-4, you give it a really clear instruction, a goal, and then, this is the magic part, you give it access to tools. That's it. That's the formula for a digital employee ready to start working.
Okay, now let's take that one giant step further. You take that really capable AI agent and you give it a voice. You fuse it with advanced voice AI so it can understand what people are saying and speak naturally. All of a sudden, you don't just have a digital employee, you have one that can pick up the phone and talk to your customers. That is the revolutionary part.
So, the tech makes sense. It's cool. But is it just a neat idea, or is this a real trend you can actually bet on? Well, let's look at the data, because the market is telling us a pretty clear story.
I mean, listen to this. This quote isn't from some random blogger. It's from Jensen Huang, the CEO of NVIDIA, literally one of the most important tech companies on the entire planet. He's not talking about a new product. He's predicting that companies will fundamentally restructure themselves around this tech. That's a massive statement.
And the financial forecasts, they absolutely back this up. We're not talking about a niche market here. Projections show speech recognition alone hitting over 7 billion euros by 2030. But look at the bigger picture. The whole conversational AI market where these agents live, that's expected to hit a staggering $50 billion.
But, it's not just the sheer size of the market that's making people's heads turn. It's the speed. A 25% compound annual growth rate. That is explosive. It means the market isn't just growing, it's accelerating, year after year. This isn't some slow burn, it's a wildfire. And that kind of momentum is where huge opportunities are born. A market doesn't just explode in a vacuum. It's fueled by these deeper currents running through our society. So what are the huge unstoppable trends that are basically pulling this technology into the mainstream? Let's take a look. Just think about the forces at play here. You've got an entire generation growing up where talking to AI is just normal. At the exact same time, there's a serious loneliness epidemic pushing people to seek out AI companionship. On top of that, we all have screen fatigue, and voice is a way out. And then you look at the business side, where industries like call centers are just desperate for a solution to their insane employee turnover. These aren't small trends. These are like tectonic plates shifting, creating the perfect storm for AI voice to absolutely thrive.
Okay, so we've covered the tech, the market, the societal drivers. Now let's get to the bottom line, the actual tangible return on investment. What really happens when a business decides to hire a digital employee? The numbers? They're pretty wild. So let's look at a real-world example. This is from Dimitri, an entrepreneur in the super competitive solar industry, and he hit a wall that a lot of business owners face. How do I scale? The old way? Hire more people. The new way? Take a bit of a risk on AI.
So how did that bet pay off for him? €500,000 in new revenue. And get this, in just 4 months.
The use case was so simple, but so powerful. He used the AI voice agent to wake up old leads that his human team just never had time to call. He didn't just grow his business, he basically became a pioneer in his entire industry.
Okay, let's really break down this comparison, side by side. To make 100 calls and do all the follow-ups, you'd need about 2.5 full-time employees. That's going to run you almost 7,000 euros a month, and they're only working business hours. The AI voice agent, it does the same work in half the time, automates the follow-ups, costs a fraction of the price, and, this is huge, it never ever sleeps. It's on 24/7.
So what does that add up to over a year? Well, by automating just one role like this, a business could save nearly 56,000 euros a year. Let's just let that number sink in for a second. That is not a small optimization. It's not a tiny efficiency gain. That is transformative cash that can be pumped right back into growth, into innovation, or, hey, straight to the bottom line. It completely changes the financial math for a business.
So, the potential is crystal clear. The tech is real, the market is on fire, and the ROI is undeniable. Which brings us to the final and most important question of all. What do you do about it? Let's turn all this information into an actual action plan. This timeline just says it all, doesn't it? 2022 is that aha moment with ChatGPT. 2023 gave us the first viral videos of these voice agents. 2024 was for the early adopters, the Dimitris of the world. And that puts us right here, right now, in 2025. A whole lot of talk, but very little action. By 2026, I promise you, the question won't be if you should use this, but how you're going to catch up. The window to be a pioneer is closing, and it's closing fast.
The key here is to start smart. You don't have this thing replace your star salesperson on a complicated closing call. No way. The genius move is to automate the high-volume, repetitive tasks that your team just doesn't have time for, like waking up old leads, following up on appointments, or handling basic support calls after hours. This is about giving your team superpowers, not replacing their core strengths.
So what's your next step? Well, if you're an employee, your mission is to become the indispensable AI expert on your team. If you're a freelancer, my goodness, the market for AI implementation is wide open right now. And if you're a business owner, the message couldn't be clearer. Implement this now and be a pioneer, not a follower. So, we'll end on this thought. This whole shift, it's not a distant prediction. It is happening right now. The technology is here, the early adopters are already cashing in, and the market is about to go vertical. The only real question left is, what are you going to do about it? Will you be out in front leading the charge, or will you be playing catch-up in a year or two? The choice, really, is yours.